Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be a Valentine's Day inspired look. Obviously you could tell by the background. If you're going somewhere, this is like a super glam look. If you're going somewhere really fancy, a nice dinner or a show, I don't know what people do on Valentine's Day, I'm just guessing. It's a cut crease, sparkly, pretty, very Valentine's Day, you know, with the red tones and peachy tones. I am going to be using my two palettes, the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Edition and the Kylie Jenner Peachy palette. Really like these palettes. They were super nice to blend. Nice mixture with both of these. You get really nice shades and tones. If you guys like to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. To get started, I'm going to prep my skin using my Garnier Brightening Smoothing Daily Moisturizer mixed with 1 or 2 drops of my Dermalogica Phyto Replenishing Oil. I love this oil. It really makes your skin feel nice and smooth and it gives it a little bit of a glow without overdoing it. It's amazing. Now grabbing my Per Cosmetics Correcting Primer, I'm going to put this all over my face. This primer gives your skin a nice illuminate and glowy look. Now grabbing the POREfessional by BENEFIT, I am going to put this all around my T-zone and under my eyes to minimize the appearance of pores. I love this stuff. It just gives my makeup a nice smooth look. I did my eyebrows off camera. It's like magic. Bam, we have eyebrows now. Grabbing my MAC Paint Pot Soft Ochre, I'm going to prime my lids. Just using a crown brush, flat round brush. First, I'm just going to put it on there and then I'm going to go in with my finger and just smooth it all out. Make sure it's all over my lid. Grabbing the Huda Beauty palette, I'm going to set my eye with the shade Babe. What this does is when I'm blending out all the other different colors, the brush won't tug and everything will blend out very smoothly. To apply that shadow, I use my Morphe M210 brush. I'm going into the Royal Peach palette and I'm going to pick up the shade Duke. And this is going to be my first transition shade. And this is just going to start building up those nice colors. And I'm also using the brush that came with the palette. Picking up the shade Peachy from the KYLIE palette, I'm going to put this right underneath, just a little bit underneath from the shade that we put before. What this does is going to start adding that little bit of depth into the color and give it a more of a blended look. Grabbing my LUXIE 231 small taper blending brush, I'm just going to clean up all those sides of the shadows that we put in, making sure that they all blended in and melted together. The reason why there's no color is because we want this to be more of a cleanup. Picking up the shade Shy using my LUXIE blending brush 235, we're just going to start, like again, we're going to start adding a little bit more of that depth into the eye and giving it more of a darker tone. Grabbing the shade Man Eater, we are going to use the same brush that we used before and we are going to apply this more on the outer corner of our crease, not bringing it all the way to the inner duct. And now we're grabbing the same old LUXIE brush that we used that was clean, just to blend out the colors and melt them together. And we do the same thing to both of our eyes. Let's not worry about the sides not being cleaned up or perfect. Once we use concealer and foundation, that's going to clean it up. Picking up the shade Bossy, we're going to put this right on top where we put the Man Eater shade in the outer corner of our crease. And we're just going to slightly start adding that depth again. This is going to make the eye look more defined and just give it more of that nice smoky look. Picking up my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. I believe this is in the shade L13 Cool. And we're just going to put a dab of it in our arm with our Morphe M408 brush. We are going to go into our lid, and this is where we're going to do our cut crease. So be very patient, shape out your eye, be very detailed, because this is what makes the look complete, giving it that shape. And out the outer corner, we're going to wing it out a little bit right over here. With an angle brush, this is the Morphe M160 1/8 brush. We're just gonna go in and just clean it up and give it more of that detailed look. What I usually do is I close my eye and I see what the concealer hits, and that's where I give it that nice round shape. I have a harder time doing this just because I have folded lids, but this is what works for me. Grabbing my Morphe M210 brush and picking up the shade Bay, I'm just going to set that concealer. Grabbing my Morphe 408, I'm going to go into Moon Dust and apply this into my eye. This is going to give it that nice shimmer beige look. Picking up this nice dark brown cocoa with my Morphe M431. I'm going to just apply this right at the outer corner where I want that definition right there. I'm just going to go in very slightly and just kind of run it across just a little bit. Picking up the shade Angelic with my Royal & Langknickle MODA brush. This is from the Face Perfecting Kit. This one is the 804 brush. And this is just going to add a little bit of that more rose gold. Going in with my L'Oreal Inflatable Total Cover Foundation in the shade 303 with my LUXIE 510 foundation brush. I'm just going to slightly dab this all over my face before I completely blend it out. I love this foundation. It's really, really full coverage. From the Royal & Langknickle MODA brush in the Perfecting Kit, I'm going to grab the brush. The 801. This is the biggest brush that comes in this kit, and I'm just going to blend out the bigger areas of my face. Grabbing the 802 brush from that Perfecting Kit, you're just going to blend out the smaller parts of your face. Now grabbing my beauty blender, I'm just going to make sure the foundation is really blended in and sunken into my skin. Grabbing the same concealers I used before by Kat Von D, I'm going to put this on the bottom part of my eyes just to make sure I cover all those dark circles that I have going on. This concealer is completely full coverage, is amazing. Now grabbing the Morphe Mini Spike Sponge, we're just going to blend both of the eyes out. I'm also going to apply concealer right in my chin, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my forehead just to contour a little bit to highlight it and brighten up my face. And I'm going to use the same sponge to blend it out. And I got a little carried away here in my forehead and not know what type of design I was doing there, but it still worked, and I just now have to blend it out. Picking up my Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, I am going to put this exactly where I put concealer before. I'm going to start with my under eyes to keep them from creasing, and I actually will leave it on my eyes for a little bit longer, but I will also apply it on my chin, in the bridge of my nose, in my cupid's bow, and forehead. And we're just going to leave it there for a little bit as we move on to our face. Picking up my Morphe E2 brush in my Hoola Bronzer by Benefit, we are going to contour and bronze our cheeks, and we're going to just make this funky face to help us find them. If you have more of a rounder face like I do, you definitely have to make this face. We are also going to bronze the top of our forehead, pretty much on the sides, just to bronze up the face and give you a nice look and help match your face to your neck, because right now my foundation was just a little bit lighter. Grabbing our Laura Mercier powder again, we're going to cut our cheeks right here and give them a nice clean look. Picking up my Morphe M528, I'm going to lightly dust off all the baking that I'm doing. I'm going to start out with my eyes and then move on to my forehead, and I'm going to dust it off outwards, if you can see, so this way it can blend in with the bronzer. For eyeliner, I'm going to use the Milani Eye Tech Extreme Liquid Liner 02 Shiny Black. And I really didn't care for this liner, to be honest. I ended up switching back to the Kat Von D to finish it off. It kind of dried out after I did my first wing. Using this big fluffy fan brush, we're going to contour our jawline, trying to hide that double chin we have going on with the Benefit Hold Up Bronzer. Picking up the AVH Moonchild Glow Kit, we're going to pick up the shade Pink Heart with my Morphe M222 brush, and we're going to apply this color just right underneath our brow, on the brow bone, just to highlight and give our brow more of an arch too, and just blend in all the colors that we applied before. Going back to that Morphe brush, I'm going to dust off all the baking underneath my cheekbones just to clean it up, and lightly and softly. Picking up the Morphe M510 with my MAC Fix Plus, I'm gonna use the color Star and Pink Heart, and we are going to highlight our life. I mean, look at that glow. It's so pretty. We are also going to highlight our Cupid's bow in the bottom of our lip just to make our lipstick stand out. I'm also going to grab this little brush again and highlight my inner duct using the shade Star and Pink Heart from that ABH Moonchild Glow Kit. With this Royal and Langknickle brush as an eye shader brush, we're going to contour our nose using the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. Back with a clean brush, we're just going to blend out that contour. Picking up the shade Star from that highlighting palette from ABH, we are going to put that at the point of our nose and right at the bridge. And with this brush, I'm just going to blend it out. Grabbing my Morphe blush palette, I believe this one is 9B. I'm going to pick up that pretty rosy deep color and put that right on top of my highlight and my contour, and I'll be using my MAC 168. Kind of saw that it was a little too bright, so I went in with my Royal and Langknickle brush. This is a multi-purpose powder brush, and just blended it out a little bit and melted all in. Going in with my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner, we're going to put this right on our lid where the cut crease is, and I'm not going to load the whole entire thing. I'm just going to go and put in little specks of glitter. Using the Tarte Inner Rim Liner, I'm going to color in my waterline, and as you can see, I use my little pinky just to pull down my eye and go in with the eyeliner. Using my Morphe Y22 brush, I'm going back to that Kylie Jenner palette and picking up the shade Peachy, and we're just going to start building again like we did before, the little colors, just the colors. This will be the first shade. We're kind of like a transition shade. Now we're picking up Cinnamon, and we're going to put that right on top, and we're going to try to smoke it out just a little bit. Going back to the Huda palette, I'm going to pick up the shade Cocoa, which was this really pretty dark brown, in my Morphe R41 brush, and we're just going to go back on top of those shades that we have applied on our lower lash line, and this is just going to add a little bit more depth and smoke it out. Using my favorite mascara, the Velour Lash Mascara by Benefit, we're just going to give our lashes a nice coat. For lashes, I'm going to use this really pretty and wispy Velour Lashes. I don't know the name of the style. For some reason, it's not marked on the box. Sorry. Using the NYX Skinny Mascara, I'm going to coat my lower lashes. And this wand is just perfect for it. I love this mascara for my lower lashes. For my lips, I'm going to start with lining them with this KYLIE Cosmetics lip liner, Cocoa K, and we are going to line them and just fill in the whole entire lip. And if you want, you can leave your lips like this. You don't need to do anything else. But I'm going to go in with ColourPop's Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Clueless. And this is a very nice pinkishy rosy color. And it's very long lasting, which is very important. And on top of it, I'm going to use this Too Faced Lip Injections. And this is just going to plump up my lips a little bit and give it a nice glossy look. To finish up the look, we're just going to spray our whole entire face with MAC Fix Plus, and that will be it. This is the finished look, you guys. I hope you guys love it. Again, I want to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day. I hope everyone has a great day. Also, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and give this video a thumbs up. And follow me on my social media, Instagram and Snapchat, Jess Murray. See you guys on my next video.